All right, so today we're going to be diving into psychedelics and exploring, how this field might evolve, especially with personalized medicine and new ways to deliver these therapies.
It is a fascinating area.
It really is. We've got some really interesting research and clinical data to unpack today.
Yeah, the intersection of technology and this ancient wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly interesting.
I completely agree with you on that one.
We're using AI to understand these complex molecules
Right.
and revisiting this age-old concept of set and setting.
Yeah, I'm curious about that set and setting idea. How much does that actually impact the therapeutic benefit?
Yeah, well, it's not just about the drug itself, you see.
Okay.
It's about the context.
Okay.
There's a study that highlights how your mindset, the set, like your motivations for using psychedelics,
Sure.
and the environment, the setting, meaning like location and companionship,
Right.
play a huge role.
So environment can really make or break the experience.
Yeah, the study found that positive outcomes are more likely
Oh.
when individuals are driven by personal growth,
Right.
They experience the therapy in nature and have loved ones present.
Wow. Okay, so it really emphasizes the need for a tailored therapeutic environment.
It does.
Yeah. Okay, so it's all about creating the right conditions.
Yeah.
What about the drugs themselves? Let's take MDMA, for example,
Yeah.
which shows promise for PTSD.
Right.
How does that actually work?
So MDMA interacts with various serotonin receptors, primarily 5-HT2A, 5-HTPC, and 5-HT2B.
Okay.
Think of these receptors like tiny locks on brain cells, and MDMA is a key that fits into these locks.
So each receptor triggers a different effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting because each lock leads to a different room, so to speak.
Well, I like that analogy.
Yeah. So, for example, 5-HT2A is heavily involved in MDMA's psychedelic effects.
Okay.
Those feelings of euphoria and connection.
That makes sense. What about the other receptors?
So the 5-HT2C receptor influences both anxiety and temperature regulation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword because while MDMA can reduce anxiety,
Right.
it could potentially also trigger it through its interaction with this receptor.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where the benefits outweigh the risks.
Precisely.
Got it.
Then there's 5-HT2B,
Okay.
which is linked to MDMA's effects on heart function.
Okay.
Understanding these interactions is key to developing safer and more targeted treatments.
That brings up an interesting thought. If MDMA interacts with multiple receptors, could we develop therapies that are even more specific?
That's the exciting frontier,
Yeah.
receptor-specific therapies.
Okay.
Imagine designing drugs that target just one specific receptor.
Yeah.
This could allow us to maximize therapeutic effects and minimize side effects.
Interesting.
We could potentially create a drug that unlocks only the 5-HT2A receptor, promoting those positive feelings without the potential anxiety from 5-HT2C, or cardiovascular effects from 5-HT2B.
So it's like fine-tuning the treatment to match each person's needs.
Yeah.
But how are we going to map out these incredibly complex receptor interactions?
Yeah.
It sounds like a monumental task.
That's where AI comes in.
Okay.
It's revolutionizing drug discovery, particularly in receptor modeling.
Right.
We're talking about algorithms that can analyze massive data sets to predict how different psychedelic compounds will interact with specific receptors.
So instead of conducting countless lab experiments, AI can provide us with the shortcut.
That's the power of this technology.
Wow.
For example, AI recently helped identify a novel compound that targets the 5-HT2A receptor without affecting 5-HT2C.
Interesting.
This could drastically reduce anxiety as a side effect.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
AI is like having a superpowered chemist that can sift through millions of possibilities and identify the most promising compounds.
Okay.
This opens up a whole new world for developing safer and more effective treatments.
That's mind-blowing. We're essentially using AI to map out the brain's intricate wiring and design treatments that fit like a key in a lock.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that leads us to personalized medicine. How would that play a role?
Imagine analyzing a patient's genetic and biochemical makeup to predict their response to different psychedelics. It's like taking a snapshot of their brain chemistry and then using AI to predict which treatment would be most effective.
Right.
This could minimize trial and error and lead to personalized receptor-targeted regimens.
Okay, so we're moving away from the one-size-fits-all approach and towards treatments tailored to each person's unique brain chemistry.
Yeah.
This could revolutionize mental health care.
Absolutely. By understanding receptor-specific interactions in SET, we could optimize both the drug and the therapeutic context to maximize healing and transformation. This is what personalized medicine is all about, creating truly personalized set and setting optimization for each patient.
So we're not just talking about prescribing the right drug.
Yeah.
We're talking about crafting the entire therapeutic journey.
Exactly.
What are the other breakthroughs on the horizon? Are we still relying on pills and injections for delivery?
You bring up a great point.
Yeah.
The way we deliver these medications can be a hurdle.
Right.
Pills can take a while to kick in. Injections aren't ideal for everyone.
Yeah. Nobody enjoys a bad trip caused by uneven dosing.
Right.
So what's next?
Yeah.
What are scientists working on?
There are some exciting innovations on the horizon. Researchers are exploring non-invasive methods like transdermal patches and nasal sprays.
Those sound intriguing.
Yeah.
How would they work?
So imagine a transdermal patch that slowly releases a controlled dose of a psychedelic through your skin.
Like those nicotine patches.
It's similar in concept.
Okay.
The patch would deliver a consistent dose over time, creating a smoother experience and potentially minimizing those intense peaks and sudden drops often associated with traditional methods like pills.
That makes a lot of sense, especially for therapeutic purposes.
Yeah.
A smoother experience would probably be less intimidating for some people.
Right.
What about nasal sprays?
Nasal sprays offer more rapid absorption and faster onset of effects than a patch, giving you more control than, say, inhalation.
Right.
Another advantage is that they bypass the digestive system entirely, which can be a significant benefit for individuals with certain medical conditions.
So essentially, we're moving towards giving patients more control over their therapeutic experience.
Yeah.
They could choose the delivery method that best aligns with their needs and preferences.
Absolutely.
But what about the substances themselves? Are there any new psychedelics being explored for these innovative delivery methods?
There's a lot of research happening around a compound called LSD microdosing.
Interesting.
It's being investigated for its potential to enhance creativity and cognitive function.
Got it.
And some researchers believe transdermal patches could be a very effective way to administer microdoses.
Microdosing via a patch.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Could you explain what microdosing is?
Yeah.
And why a patch would be a good delivery method?
Sure. So microdosing involves taking subperceptual doses of psychedelics. Doses so small, they don't produce the typical psychedelic effects like hallucinations. The idea is to enhance mood focus and creativity without any disruptive psychoactive effects.
So it's like getting a subtle boost without a full-blown psychedelic experience.
Exactly.
Got it.
And that's where transdermal patches come in. They allow for very precise and consistent dosing over an extended period, which is perfect for microdosing.
Yeah.
The patch would ensure a steady, controlled release of the microdose, potentially maximizing the benefits while minimizing any unwanted side effects.
This all sounds incredibly promising. But I also wonder about the ethical implications of making these substances more accessible.
That's a critical consideration. As we make advancements in psychedelic pharmacology, it's imperative to ensure that these powerful tools are used responsibly and ethically.
For example, if LSD microdosing becomes widely available through a patch, how do we ensure people aren't using it to gain an unfair advantage in competitive environments like work or school?
That's a very valid concern. We need to establish clear ethical guidelines and regulations around the use of these substances, especially as they become more readily available through these new delivery methods. It's an ongoing conversation that requires input from scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public.
It really does.
We need to be mindful of the potential societal impacts and make sure we're using this knowledge for the greater good.
Absolutely. It's important to remember that despite all this exciting progress, these substances are powerful tools that need to be treated with respect.
For sure.
Moving beyond the ethics, are there any other challenges or limitations researchers are facing in the field?
One of the biggest hurdles is the current legal landscape. Many psychedelic substances are still classified as illegal drugs, which creates significant obstacles for research and development.
So the catch-22.
Yeah.
We need more research to understand the therapeutic potential, But the legal restrictions make it difficult to conduct that research.
Exactly.
Right.
However, there's a growing movement to reschedule these substances, recognizing their potential therapeutic value.
Right.
As more clinical trials demonstrate the safety and efficacy of psychedelic therapies, we may see a shift in regulations, which would open up more avenues for research and innovation.
Speaking of research, what other areas are scientists particularly excited about in psychedelic pharmacology?
One area generating significant interest is the potential of these substances to treat a wider range of conditions.
We've already discussed MDMA for PTSD,
Right.
but researchers are exploring the use of psilocybin, the active compound in magic mushrooms, depression, anxiety, and even addiction.
That's incredible.
It is.
So we could be on the cusp of a new era in mental health care, where psychedelics play a significant role in treating a variety of conditions.
It's an exciting prospect.
It is.
But it's important to approach it with cautious optimism.
Of course.
We need to be mindful of the potential risks and challenges.
Right.
And always prioritize the safety and well-being of individuals seeking treatment.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
While it's easy to get swept up in the excitement, we need to remember that these are powerful substances that can have profound effects on the brain and body.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I'm curious about those profound effects. How do psychedelics actually alter our consciousness?
Right.
What's happening in the brain when someone takes these substances? That's a question that has fascinated scientists and philosophers for centuries. We're only recently beginning to unravel the mysteries of how psychedelics alter our conscious experience.
Right.
One of the key discoveries is their impact on the default mode network, or DMN.
Okay, the default mode network, what is that exactly, and how do psychedelics affect it?
Think of the DMN as your brain's autopilot. It's a network of brain regions that are active when you're not focused on a specific task.
Right.
Like when your mind is wandering or daydreaming.
Yeah.
It's associated with self-reflection, ruminating about the past, and worrying about the future.
Okay.
That inner voice we all have.
Yeah, so when we take psychedelics, they essentially switch off this autopilot mode.
In a way, yes, psychedelics dampen activity in the DMN, while simultaneously increasing connectivity between other brain regions, particularly those involved in sensory processing and emotion.
Okay.
This shift in brain activity may explain the heightened sensory experiences and emotional sensitivity people often report during psychedelic experiences.
So it's like psychedelics are rewiring the brain's communication pathways, allowing for new connections and insights to emerge.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
By disrupting the usual patterns of brain activity, psychedelics create a more fluid and interconnected state of consciousness.
Okay.
Imagine it like shaking up a snow globe.
Yeah.
The usual patterns and structures dissolve and new possibilities emerge.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah. And this shift in consciousness, this shaking up of the snow globe, is what researchers believe contributes to the therapeutic benefits of psychedelics.
Exactly. By quieting the DMN and allowing for new connections, psychedelics may help people break free from negative thought patterns and gain fresh perspectives on their lives and themselves. It's like hitting the reset button on the brain, allowing for a kind of mental reboot. This reboot can be transformative, especially for individuals struggling with conditions like depression, anxiety, or addiction.
Right.
It sounds like psychedelics are not simply treating symptoms. They're helping people fundamentally change the way they experience the world and themselves.
Yeah.
Given these profound effects, it seemed even more crucial to get that set and setting right.
Right.
If the environment plays such a significant role, how can we optimize it for therapeutic purposes?
That's where the art and science of psychedelic therapy come together. It's about creating a safe and supportive container for these powerful experiences.
Okay.
It might involve carefully curated music, calming aromatherapy, and a comfortable physical space.
It sounds like we're talking about crafting a holistic therapeutic experience going beyond just the drug itself.
Yeah.
What are some of the exciting possibilities you foresee in this realm of set and setting optimization?
One fascinating area is the use of virtual reality.
Oh, wow.
Imagine creating immersive virtual environments tailored to the individual's needs and intentions.
Okay.
We could create virtual landscapes that evoke feelings of peace and tranquility.
Right.
Or guide individuals through symbolic journeys that facilitate emotional processing and healing.
So instead of relying solely on a physical setting, we could create virtual worlds that enhance and amplify the therapeutic potential of these substances.
Exactly. It's like having a personalized inner landscape that supports and guides the individual's psychedelic journey.
Wow.
And as technology advances, the possibilities become even more expansive. We could integrate biofeedback mechanisms that respond to the individual's physiological state, creating a truly dynamic and responsive therapeutic environment.
That's incredible. It's like we're on the cusp of something truly revolutionary.
Yeah.
Combining these technological advancements with what we're learning about the brain on psychedelics feels like we're entering a new era of possibilities for healing and human potential as we wrap up this deep dive.
Yeah.
What's the one takeaway you hope our listener walks away with?
I think the most important message is that we're in the midst of a paradigm shift. Psychedelic science is not just about treating illness, it's about understanding the very nature of consciousness and exploring new frontiers of human potential. It's an invitation to approach these substances with curiosity, respect, and a deep appreciation for the profound mysteries they hold.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's a reminder that as we unlock the secrets of these powerful substances, we also unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and the vast potential that lies within each of us. This deep dive has been truly enlightening, and I'm excited to see where this journey takes us. Thanks for joining us.